Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a minus 115 Canes, Rangers minus 105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
A surprise winner on the PGA Tour. Taylor Pendrith ends up winning his first PGA Tour win.
He was pretty darn lucky to win. Ben Coles should have won that tournament, also seeking his first PGA Tour victory. He went into the 18th hole, the easiest hole on the golf course, with a one-shot lead, and he was there in 2, just less than 30 feet from the cup.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
It's Betting Above the Rim on a Saturday afternoon, brought to you by BetMGM. I'm Pharrell in New York City, along with Coach Young in Monmouth County, Jersey, and the crew, Foster's Lager, Preston Pearson, Sammy Cheers, Malone Yarnell, and Matty Jordalog here. So, Coach, take me down the week as it was in the WNBA as they opened up their season. What was your overall thoughts of the first week of action as I'm at halftime here of another Liberty stomping of the Fever? I'll give her this. She's got a great game going today, Clark. She's lighting it up.
No, she is lighting up, playing really well so far. Caitlin Clark with 15 points, 3 of 6 from 3, 4 assists. What my thought process with the WNBA is still this. There is still the big 3, right? There are the Las Vegas Aces, there's the New York Liberty, and there's the Connecticut Sun. They're the 3 best teams in the league. There's no way around it, right? What you need to start looking at is who is that next tier? Who's going to be the team that's going to step up? Is it a team like Seattle where Awumake leaves the Sparks and goes there and heads over there with Jewel Lloyd and obviously Skylar Diggins-Smith now back from maternity leave, leaving Phoenix? Is it Phoenix? Can they step up getting a girl like a Kalia Copper that's a walking bucket with Rebecca Allen and Taurasi and Brittany Griner, who's not back yet? You know, is it a team like Minnesota Lynx who's off to a 2-0 start? And I absolutely love the game of Nafisha Collier. But when you go to the young kids, right, and then if you pull up the title odds right there, obviously the Vegas Aces at minus 105, the favorite, New York Liberty plus 2.5, plus 220. Connecticut Sun, a little bit disrespected at 11-1. Remember, folks, they were missing Brianna Jones, their star center, to an injury last year. She is back. I would be looking way down there at 45-1 in the Minnesota Lynx as a team that's going to make a run. If you have a situation where you could have a cash out option where you could cash out after if they make a certain bit of run, maybe let them make a run in the playoffs and then cash out. Those are the teams I'll be looking at right now in the NBA.
I heard some people say even that Atlanta Dream team had some players at 50-1 that they were decent.
Yeah, they are. They have, Ryan Howard, who was the number 1 draft pick out of Kentucky a couple of years ago. She's obviously a big-time scorer. They went and got, I do believe, Tina Charles, who's been in the league for a long time. I mean, shout out. I mean, I remember back in the day, Pharrell, when I was a high school coach, and I went to go watch Christ the King High School and go watch Tina Charles play for Bob Mackey. what a team he had. And if anybody knows anything about ball, you should know about Christ the King High School in Middle Village, Queens, watching that team play. And it's more than just Tina Charles. They also had a pretty good point guard by the name of Sue Bird who went there. But the Atlanta Dream off to a 1-0 start. They picked up Tina Charles. They're going to be a team that's going to be interesting to watch because of those two stars that they have. Not as good as a lot of other teams, but still good nonetheless.
What are they playing? Phoenix today? The Atlanta is playing them?
Atlanta's playing Phoenix tonight. Yep, they're playing Phoenix tonight, 10 o'clock. Smart job by the WNBA going 1-3-8-10 tonight. That's the last game tonight, Atlanta versus Phoenix. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Phoenix plus I think they're favored. They're underdogs. So I'm going to take them to win outright. A Phoenix Mercury team without right now Brittany Griner, but they still have Taraz, they still have Kalia Cobb, they still have Rebecca Allen, they got Sophie Cunningham. Griner just I think it's a back injury if I'm not mistaken. She's been out, Brittany Griner, so far to start the year. So they think she should be back relatively soon. Fractured toe in her left foot. So she's going to be out for a little bit of time. So that's going to be a slow start for a Phoenix Mercury team, which I think their team total win was, 17 or 18.5. They still should be better. They'll miss Brittany, but they have enough scoring to go around.
They really weren't that good, and I think they're getting sucker odds. They're not that good.
Well, listen, they're not that good, but they still have who I think is the greatest player in the history of the WNBA, and Diana Taurasi. But I do think they should be able to get going here. Kalia Copper, if people don't know about Kalia Copper is a walking bucket, came over from the Chicago Sky. She should be able to score and score at will. Natasha Cloud, really good defender. She came over from the Washington Mystics. Rebecca Allen, Sophie Cunningham. They got enough that should be able to get by. They should be better.
How old is Taurasi now? And then tell people about your new WNBA show you're doing.
She is now 40, I think 41. Yeah. I do believe is Diana Taurasi. So she's been there forever. But
she's an old bag now in the WNBA. That's what you are when you're 41. You're an old bag. That's it. That's all there. No one wants to say it, so I'll just do it because I don't care. When you're 41, you're toast.
Well, she may be toast, but she turned around and dropped 23 in her opening night game. Diana Taurasi. You got to remember, this is a Diana Taurasi, even though last year scored, I do believe, 16 points.
She's so good. How come they don't win?
Well, I think the team was a mess last year. Skylar Diggins-Smith, paternity leave. She didn't come back the entire year. Vanessa Nygaard, the coach, was fired early in the year. They were just a hot mess. And here's the other thing, folks. The league is so top-heavy with those three teams, with Vegas, with New York, with Connecticut, that, even if you're the fourth best team, you're not that good. The problem is you have three teams that are really, Pharrell, so much better than everyone else. All of them, all three teams with young cores, players under 30, except for the Liberty with Vandersoot. They're all under 30, all these kids. If you talk about Anescu, you talk about Stewie, you talk about Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Alyssa Thomas, Dewana Bonner, Brianna Jones. If you don't know who those people are, send me a DM. I'll teach you about women's ball a little bit.
So tell us about your new WNBA show.
Well, what we're going to do is my scouting reports are going to be coming out every day, only on the SportsGrid app, where I'll give you all my plays. Also, during the podcast, we'll spend more time talking about the WNBA. We'll get into the season-long stuff, game stuff, maybe some guests talking about the WNBA. We're going to give these girls a little bit of love because Caitlin Clark, let's be honest, bro, it has changed the game.
So did Angel Reese really throw down a dunk in her game this week for Chicago?
I didn't see that, but I saw she missed a lot of shots early on, and she should be a good player in the WNBA. And I want people to understand something really quick. Although Caitlin Clark's had a great start to this game, you're going to see these kids struggle a little bit to score the ball early on because of the fact that you got to remember, folks, they had no off season. They played their season already, and then in college. In the case of Caitlin Clark, She had played her last game on a Sunday, got drafted on a Tuesday, started his regular season 5-6 weeks later. So it's a little bit of an adjustment period for these players going from college to WNBA. We got to temper our expectations for them, although they will give you a big performance like the one Caitlin Clark's had so far in the first half.
So did Brianna get the MVP of the league last year, but they lost to the Aces, and now who is the favorite to win the MVP this year? Because Bree won it last year, right?
Yeah, there was a three-player race. Asia Wilson, to me, is the best player in the world, and she probably could have gotten it last year. I think you'll see it kind of like last year with the NBA when they gave it to Embiid. They're going to spin back and give it back to Asia Wilson. Best player, double-double machine, best team, probably going to win the league title. I just can't bet even money odds to win the MVP award. Guys, if you could pull up the MVP award race really quick as well. Obviously, Brianna Stewart's second, 8-1, along with Alyssa Thomas. I would look at Nafisa Collier at 9-1. This girl is a walking bucket. She came back from maternity last year for the Minnesota Lynx. They're 2-0 so far. She can score it a lot of different ways. Don't sleep on Nafisa Collier making a run for the MVP.
So the rookie of the year is obviously everybody thinks it's Caitlin Clark in a runaway.
It's a runaway, but I can't bet my money on it. Maybe sprinkle some money on either Angel Reese or Cameron Brink as a value play.
Don't go anywhere. Betting above the rim, we're still going straight to the 10.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books. And outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
A surprise winner on the PGA Tour. Taylor Hendrick ends up winning his first PGA Tour win.
He was pretty darn lucky to win. Ben Coles should have won that tournament. Also seeking his first PGA Tour victory, he went into the 18th hole, the easiest hole on the golf course, with a one-shot lead, and he was there in 2, just less than 30 feet from the cup.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, betting above the rim brought to you by BetMGM. Coach, I want to go back to the Celtics eliminator of, Cleveland. As they got it done at the Garden, easy pickings, 113.98. The one thing that stood out to me for, all it's worth is that Mobley had a huge game that night. He had 33. I thought he played his ass off, 15 of 24 from the floor. 3 of 5 from the line in 43 minutes. He had 2 blocks, only 3 turnovers. I know he was a -15, but I thought he really stood out to me. And So much so that I saw Garland's 11 as being worthless. I've heard all this talk about Garland's unhappy and whatever else. All I know is, well, who cares what he is? Who cares if he's unhappy? There's something amiss about that cat. Honestly, like, he's so inconsistent in terms of good game, bad game. It's like the sun coming up and down every day. I don't know what, is it going to rain? Is it going to be nice out? I thought Darius Garland was awful in that series, flat out. And I thought Mobley showed out in that loss. And that's all I have to say nice about Cleveland. I am surprised, Coach, that Bickerstaff hasn't been fired yet.
Oh, he's getting fired. I mean, he's getting fired.
What are they waiting for?
I have no idea. I don't know. When you think about this, number one, I think his team quit on him. I know we talk about injuries, but if your season was on the line and you had to take a shot to the ribs, like just an injection and a flap jacket to play, would you suit up and play?
Of course.
Jared Allen missed a game 7 and then missed the whole entire series, right? Donovan Mitchell, I love Spider. They go down 2-1. You don't even play game 4, game 5. Karis LeVert, you don't play a game 5. I mean, you're like, people sit there talking, they trash Tibbs like crazy. Oh, Tibbs run these guys in his run. Those guys would die for Tibbs. They would do anything. Josh Hart has no business playing. Watch him do everything he can to play because of their respect for their coach. So number one, they don't like the coach. Number two, you're absolutely right about Darius Garland. You are in a game. You're in a game for a chance to advance and move this game to game 6. And while Evan Mobley went 11 of 15 in the second half for 25 points, Darius Garland went 1 for 8. I understand he had 8 assists in the second half, but you shoot 1 for 8 in a big spot, and now you're looking at people saying, oh, well, you know what? If Donovan Mitchell comes back, I want to be traded. Boy, they don't want you if Donovan Mitchell comes back. I'll be sitting there talking about, oh, I want to be traded. They don't want you, player. There's one of y'all going to go. They can't play both of you. One of you got to go. And that leads me to Jared Allen. I thought going to the series, I'm keeping Jared Allen. But after his punk move of not playing, I'm saying this. Evan Mobley, try and keep Spider. Garland, gone. Allen, gone. Bickerstaff, gone. And if Spider don't want to play, I trade him too. Blow it up. Those 3 guys can get you a lot of assets. Start over, Cleveland. It's over.
Well, listen, I don't have a problem with firing Bickerstaff. I don't have a problem at all with getting rid of Garland. I do have a problem getting rid of Allen. Allen is a way better player than Mobley. He's more violent, more physical, blocks more shots, gets more buckets, has a better offensive game. I think he's better in the low block. Now, I'll give you this. Like, I agree with you about the shot. Now, listen, I know all about shots. I've had, as you know, tons of 8-inch needles in my feet, in my bone spurs, in my, what do you call it again? When you in the foot, the fasciitis is the worst thing I've ever had. I had double plantar fasciitis. It was agonizing, just crippling. When you don't play, you walk like you're 95 years old. You literally can't walk. It's just the most awful thing in the world. But if all you got to do is stick an 8-inch needle in your foot to get rid of it for 6-8 weeks, you don't feel anything. I did it all the time. My doctor used to come to my house. Literally, I'd lay on the sofa and he would come after work. He'd say, well, I'm busy. I have surgery, blah, blah, blah. but I'll stop by at like 9 tonight. He comes in my house all the time. He sticks 8-inch needles in my feet. But I don't think you can do a needle in your calf. It's not going to help you if you have a pulled calf or a pulled hammy. It doesn't work. I do believe it would work on ribs, on cartilage, because you don't feel anything. It's like you know what I mean? It's like a moxie. They put it in there, and it feels like instantaneously your pain's gone. You don't feel anything. It's like a coating over the pain, and you can go play immediately. So I don't see why he didn't shoot up in his ribs to play in that game. I will say it made him look really bad, like just a gigantic P. Everyone was like, this guy's a P. He won't take a shot and go play, and his ribs are so bad that he won't play. I think it made him look really soft. I would have taken the needle. I've had it done 50 times. You saw my daughter take 300 shots in her knees. Prolo, she did 300 shots, and she was awake. They didn't put her under. She was awake. They give them laughing gas, and you sit there and take 300 shots, 150 shots in each knee. We'll see what you're made of. I'll never forget. She had tears running down the side of her face, and I said, Ben and Jerry's is like 3 blocks from here. Just do it. I go, we'll go straight to the ice cream store. Just take it. She was bawling when it was over, but we ate a ton of ice cream. Everybody's happy.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a minus 115 Canes, Rangers minus 105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
A surprise winner on the PGA Tour. Taylor Hendrick ends up winning his first PGA Tour win.
He was pretty darn lucky to win. Ben Coles should have won that tournament. Also seeking his first PGA Tour victory, he went into the 18th hole, the easiest hole on the golf course, with a one-shot lead, and he was there in 2, just less than 30 feet from the cup.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, betting above the rim as Uncle Food Shove is at it again. He's got a plate full of sushi ready to go to town during the show, as usual. Can we show him with his girly man seaweed and his, California rolls, whatever he's eating? It's just, it never ends. You wonder why. You should be 300 pounds, seriously. So let's look at hypotheticals here. A hypothetical Nick Celtics, and then we'll do a hypothetical Pacers, Celtics, Eastern Conference Finals. Start with the Knicks against the Celtics if that comes to fruition.
Pain for the Knicks. But I actually think the Knicks will win 2 games. I have the Knicks losing in 6 games. You're hoping that Josh Hart comes back. There's talk of maybe OG, already is out of the pool. He's on the court doing light work on the court. Maybe get him back by game 3. I think the Knicks will find a way to win 2 games. I think the Knicks lose in 6 games to Boston. Just way too much firepower. There's way too much that they can do offensively and defensively with the way they could score. Even guys like Hauser and Pritchard coming off the bench. New York won't be able to keep up the pace with them. I like Boston in 6 games to beat the Knicks.
How does a guy pull his hammy like he did, his left hammy on the court, pulls up lame, can't walk, grabs the leg? How long has he been out now? 2 weeks, and he's in a underwater training. I've done that before. That is just so painful. Not in terms of painful, just pain in the ass. Underwater rehab. I've done it before. It's like running with weights strapped to your back, right? Like when you're underwater, everything's heavier, and then they try to get you back into game readiness, if you will. I don't believe in anyone that pulls their hammy that 2 weeks later they can expect to be explosive. I just have seen too many guys, literally, Coach, I'm going to just call it as I see it. Like, here's what happens. Guys come back too soon from hammies and calves all the time, and they always say the same thing. They start playing, and 5 minutes in, they say, I'm not ready yet. And they're done. They grab their stuff and leave and go to the car. They always think they're ready, and then they say they're not, and they grab their stuff and leave. How many times have you seen a guy with a hammy tell you he's ready, and 5 minutes later he's grabbing his stuff headed to the car? It just never heals in 2 weeks. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Superman.
No, I think you're right. I think when you look at a hamstring injury, those are ones that you are, for all that's a 4 to 6 week time frame.
Right.
If you're lucky. Folks, I pulled my hamstring in 1999, and it still gives me problems if I try and run too hard and too fast. I mean, I'm a little bit thicker now. Put a little bit of weight on Farrelly, but that's a story for another day. But my point is this: a hamstring is something that if you come back too long, Farrell, 2 to 3 weeks can be 2 to 3 months. So you got to be really, really careful. And if you guys saw it, he was in the 4th gear, right, Farrell? He tried to go to that 5th gear to get that outlet pass, and that thing popped. That thing popped. You could see it on his face and on his body how bad he pulled that hamstring. I hope the Knicks win. I hope he plays. I'll be honest with you. I'd be stunned if he even is around for the next series. I think he's probably out for the rest of the playoffs. They just haven't said it yet.
And what do you think of Pacers hypothetical against the Celtics? Because they're in way better shape physically and depth-wise. It might be a better series.
It might be a better series. I just think the problem with them is they don't defend. They don't defend. And, Boston will get up into them, and they have the number of bodies.
What do you mean they don't defend? They've driven the Knicks crazy. They're in a 7-game series.
Scott, let me ask you this. If Mitchell Robinson, if Bogdanovich and Randall play, is this even a series?
I'll give you that, but they're not. So that reality is they're not.
Right. But when they play a team at full strength, and it ain't Orlando, and it's not a beaten down Knicks team, they will get absolutely rolled 5 games or less.
Wow. So 5 games it would last against the Celtics with the Pacers. We'll see. We'll talk Dallas OKC next.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows that QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a minus 115 Canes, Rangers minus 105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
A surprise winner on the PGA Tour. Taylor Hendrick ends up winning his first PGA Tour win.
He was pretty darn lucky to win. Ben Coles should have won that tournament. Also seeking his first PGA Tour victory, he went into the 18th hole, the easiest hole on the golf course, with a one-shot lead, and he was there in two, just less than 30 feet from the cup.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so Betting Above the Rim brought to you by BetMGM along with Coach Young. I'm Pharrell in New York City. Great to have you with us. Don't forget, tomorrow we're here 1 to 3 before the Knicks and Pacers Game 7 from the world's most famous. That should be awesome tomorrow at 3:30 on ABC. So let's go back to Dallas's, Game 5 win at Oak City. It was impressive. 104-92. I think they put the shank in the chest right then and there that night. And Luka had the trip dub, 31, 10, and 11, 12 of 22 from the floor, 5 threes, 2 of 3 from the line, 41 minutes, 3 turnovers, a plus 13. Never once have I ever seen him play without complaining. And this is the first time I saw it. Someone had to tell him, Coach, Cuban, teammate, maybe it was Kyrie, who knows? Somebody told him, like, bro, you're really painful with your crying. And all you do is worry about the refs. You don't even play ball. Like, if he misses a shot, he doesn't even go back on D at all. He just screams and yells at refs. We've been down this road before. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. But that was the first time I actually heard him say, I just wanted to play ball and have fun and not worry about the refs. And someone got through to him because he played his ass off. And as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm just going to save a lot of time here. Oak City's finished.
Yeah, Oak City's finished. I mean, they're finished. And it's going to be hard for them to go into and win tonight. I don't like it. You know, if you can look at the series odds right there, forget it. It's over tonight. It's flat out. It's over. And I think what you look at is the fact that Luka just has to shut up and play. I thought, there was a critical point in that game. Oklahoma City jumped, I think it was an 8-2 lead early in the game. And they had all the momentum. And instead of Luka crying to officials, instead of Luka like forcing shots, he got Jones Jr. involved, right? Drive, kind of backs the guy down at the foul line, double team. Here's Jones open, quarter 3, bang. Then a couple of minutes later, drives, Jones open right wing, bang. Then transition, drive, looks like he's going to shoot a floater. Here comes Jones out of nowhere with a lefty dunk. It seemed like to me Luka got the game going But although he had a triple-double, I thought he allowed the game to come to him. He got other guys involved, particularly Jones early, and then he opened up and he just balled out. And when Luka does it, you're right. He's incredibly tough to stop. I just think today I need to see Kyrie be Kyrie. That is what I'm looking for today. Because if Luka does what he does, it stays away from the officials, and Kyrie balls out, Pharrell, OKC has no shot in hell in winning that game.
Okay, I don't, and we'll get to the picks for the game exactly on money line spread total coming up, but specifically the mention of Irving, I think Kyrie's been relatively pedestrian in the series. I mean, the 12 in that game 5 is just like, I understand he doesn't have to work when he's got Luka going like that. He just has to do his thing. I think it was 12, 2, and 4, something like that. But he took 11 shots. That's just not enough for me. He's got to get 20, 22 shots a game, no matter what. If you get those guys both going in terms of, I think Luka took 22 shots. Let's say they both take 20 to 25 shots. They're brutal to beat. Like, those two, if they get going, it's like I said the other day to you, I think on C2C, if Tatum and Brown both go over 25, good night, Irene. I mean, in terms of points, and they did it. It was the first time they both had over 25 in a long time. Same thing with these two. If you get Kyrie and Luka going and get their looks, enough looks, like they are not giving Kyrie Irving enough looks. And I get it. Jones had a 19 burger and PJ's getting his double-double. He doesn't have to. But when he does, it makes him even better. And I think it makes those other guys better too.
No, I agree. I think because what you have is you have two guys that are dynamic that can create a shot, but can create for others. And you're right. I think Kyrie's been very pedestrian in his approach and going under the points prop, I think in 4 straight games. He's got to get going, Pharrell, because he has the ability not only to create for himself, but to create for his teammates. And I think that is what Kyrie is able to do. And it reminds me a lot of when they play well. You remember when Brunson was with Luka? They have that, what I call that first side of the floor, second side of the floor.
Right.
Either one of them could go on the first side, and then once you swing to the second side of the floor, it's 1-on-1. It's barbecue chicken. So I need Kyrie to be that person because forget just this game. If they win, and we both expect them to, if they're going to compete with Denver, who we both think, or if it's Minnesota, Kyrie has got to be Kyrie. He's got to be 25 points a game, Kyrie Irving. He's got to step up, and now would be a good time for him to start.
Okay, so my problem with the other side is that Shea, as usual, showed up and had 30 and got 22 shots. That's normal. That's what Luka's doing. That's what Kyrie should be doing. That's what Shea is doing. And he's going to get you around 28 to 35 points every night because he gets his looks. But I have to tell you, I mean, in all honesty, they lost by 12. And I'll tell you why. Because Dort, Jay Will, and Abe Lincoln played like crap. I mean, they all had 11, 13, 11 shots, not taking shots, not involved. Standing around watching Shea Gilgeous score is not how they win. That's just not how they've gotten to the number 1 seed and the top in the West. They got it by everyone touching it, everyone getting their shots, their looks, running and gunning, numbers, finishing, getting out in transition and being who they are. They are no longer playing like the Thunder at all. They've already, and I should be a coach too with you. We should be coaching together, I think. It's obvious. They have lost their identity in the playoffs. In this series, they have forgotten who they are. That's how finished they are. They don't even play like the Thunder anymore. They play like a team standing around watching Shea Gilgeous not only fill it up, but also dress way better than all of them.
No, listen, and you've seen it right off the bat. Mark Dagnall, what's up with our boy Giddy Kitty? Now Giddy Kitty goes to the bench.
He's
They don't even
invisible.
play the guy. I think what you have here is a team in this spot for the first time, and you see a young team and a young coach starting to panic. You do what you do. And I think they have to get up and down. They have to play with pace. They have to use their speed and athleticism to their advantage, and they have not done so. So to me, as you look at a team like OKC, the reason why I don't like them in the spot tonight, Pharrell, is I think they've panicked. I think they don't know what to do, and they're kind of reaching for straws. Do what you do. Let SGA go off. Let Giddy Kitty get in the mix. Chet's got to be far more aggressive offensively, defensively, and you need something out of Williams. Play your game. Do what you do. Otherwise, go home. Unfortunately, I think they're going home.
Well, we'll come back and give those picks for tonight's game. It's the only featured attraction. I know we keep it lid here on Betting Above the Rim, but I just wanted to say that I guess all of the po and the national media and attention and arrests and getting out of jail and mugshots and stress and everything else must be getting to the world's #1 golfer. I'm sitting here watching right now as this guy's melting down at Valhalla and spraying shots all over the course and losing his mind.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books. And outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
A surprise winner on the PGA Tour. Taylor Hendricks ends up winning his first PGA Tour win.
He was pretty darn lucky to win. Ben Coles should have won that tournament. Also seeking his first PGA Tour victory, he went into the 18th hole, the easiest hole on the golf course, with a one-shot lead, and he was there in 2, just less than 30 feet from the cup.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Betting Above the Rim, Coach, I don't know what they've done to Abe Lincoln, but he's lost his game. Like, they have turned him off like water in the winter, shut the valve off for the cold temperatures. He has done nothing. They have literally, and they, not only that, they twigged him right out of the paint. They're like, you're not allowed in here, skinny. Get out. He's standing over in the corner and on the wing. Have you noticed? Like, he's not balling. He's lost his mind. He's afraid to be who he is. His game is, they have literally shoved, those grown men have shoved that young man. That's what he is. He's a young man. He's not a grown man. He's a young man. and he's skinny and he's doable. Like he's a $190 soaking wet. They just shoved him right out there and said, "You're not playing in here. This is the playoffs." I mean, there's something wrong with his game. It's disappeared.
No, it has disappeared. 13 points, 4 rebounds shot, 20% from three, too many shots at the 3-point line. Chet's got to get going here a little bit offensively. He's only shot 25% from the 3-point line this series, 14.8 points a game, 15.3 last game. But to me, the rebounds, 4 rebounds for a guy his size in 39 minutes is inexcusable. He's got to do a better job of attacking the boards offensively and doing more. Also, the block shots for only 1 block shot compared to 4 in game number 4. Chet's got to show up. He's another person that's got to play far better for Oklahoma City if they have a chance to win tonight.
All right, so, they have no chance to win tonight. As you know, it's over. Let's get to the picks. I am on Dallas. I laid it. Money line, spread, 4.5. I wouldn't be surprised, frankly, you tell me the total because I think an under because I think Dallas is going to do all the damage. And I think Oak City's going to get shut off. And that, last night, that $115, whatever, to 70, or, the other night, the Denver game, when Minneapolis beat them 115-70, that's what I'm looking at here tonight. This is Good Night Irene, Fat Lady Singing time. I'm all over them tonight to finish them off. They're a veteran, grown man team with 2 of the sickest guards that have ever played NBA basketball. I mean, that have ever played. You could put that backcourt against the greatest backcourts of all time. Luka and Kyrie together, it's your worst nightmare as a team playing them, and they're finished. If they win tonight, I'll keel over.
No, they're finished. I like Dallas minus the points. I think this is bad. I think this is a 10, 15-point game. I think Luka will do Luka things. I think you said these guys look a little bit scared and intimidated by Oklahoma City. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 10, 15-point game at the break. This is going to be too big of a moment for a young team that is going to be a team of the future, Pharrell, with all this young talent that they have in OKC and the 38 draft picks that Stan Presti has at his disposal moving forward. But tonight it ends. I do like Dallas minus the points.
I think they're a great franchise. All respect in the world, for me, goes to the Thunder. I love watching this team play basketball. They are fun, man. They are the most fun team to watch, if you ask me, of any team in the league, hands down. I like their age, their deals, their money, their kind of – they don't realize what's going on around them. Like, they're like, wow, we're staying in the Four Seasons. We're making all this money. We're doing commercials. We're singing songs. Like, what is happening here? I think they're naive to all of it, and it's just I think it's a blessing for us to see a team that isn't, the Lakers, which is just a constant cluster for Eller. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just constant, just chaos and nonsense, and even that Cleveland team. I want to ask you. I want to go back to the Barclays and No Sleep Till really quick. The one thing that I'm glaringly noticing here is that place is sold out. And all of the faces that are there, it's very unique. There's a lot of players, celebrities, obviously tons of women, and the commissioner's there. He's going to hit that Knick game tomorrow at the Garden. Who wouldn't? But I noticed that just like A to Z, the spectrum coach of that audience today is great for the league, great for business, great for network television, good for them. ABC, they're on. And that crowd today at the Barclays is no different, literally almost, than the Garden tomorrow when you got all the big names and movie stars and everybody else comes out. I don't see much of a difference between what I'm seeing today in Brooklyn as to what I'll see tomorrow. It's almost the same pack of wolves.
It is, and it's the Caitlin Clark effect. This is what the WNBA wanted and needed. They needed this girl to come in. And listen, if you think about the ratings last year, the ratings in the WNBA were up last year because they bounced off of the fact of the NCAA tournament of the women. They've done it again, and in a bigger market, in a bigger stage, with Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. So they're going to use this poor kid as ratings, and as long as she performs, Pharrell, this is like, if she could do this and play well, it is going to be such a financial boom for the league. Think about this. On a Saturday in New York City, I know it's not a great day outside as I look outside, it's still 75 degrees, right? 70 degrees. And everyone, no one's anywhere but there. I'm watching, I got one game, I have one TV on the Liberty game. I got another game watching girls, EYBL action. Like, this is what has happened with this lady. She is Tiger Woods. She is Tiger Woods for women's basketball, and we all need to get on board with it.
I will still never agree with their scheduling. I do not believe that they should be playing in the summer.
No,
to me, the summer is for Summer League Vegas, Summer League Chicago, Summer League Orlando, wherever they do it. That's what the summer's for. I think women's basketball should be no different than girls' high school and girls' college. They should be playing from November on, just like the men. And that's what would make it badass. I don't think people want to watch women's basketball in the middle of the summer. They want to go to the beach.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books. And outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in game one of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a minus 115 Canes, Rangers minus 105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
A surprise winner on the PGA Tour. Taylor Hendrick ends up winning his first PGA Tour win.
He was pretty darn lucky to win. Ben Coles should have won that tournament. Also seeking his first PGA Tour victory, he went into the 18th hole, the easiest hole on the golf course, with a one-shot lead, and he was there in two, just less than 30 feet from the cup.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Betting above the rim with the great Coach Young. Listen, you know it's true. You have to dedicate your life to it. Coach, you have. I have. I get up at 5 a.m. and play ball every day. I don't have any time for sleeping till 4, smoking bongs, eating pizza, going to movies, going to your girlfriend's house all night. Like, all that stuff's candy ass, like kiddie, childish stuff. Like, I saw my son with his friends, these lazy bums. I'm playing ball, and I'm an old man, and I ball out every day, and these kids they do nothing. They're worthless. you got to be dedicated to play ball. Like your students, they all are grinding and working and shooting. Like Chop, she's grinding, man. She works out for 2 hours every day. She's running, she's lifting, she's doing cardio, she's doing different things every day. Spartan training, eating right, no junk food. She got a Ninja. She's making her own ice cream, and it's not even bad for you. It's healthy for you with protein. She's doing all the things to be a baller. And then I am too. And then my son's just a lazy bum, Thunder fan, wretched, bong-ripping loser. He might be Dean's List, but he's candy ass. Here it is, Pharrell's Saturday night pick. I'm laying the 4, Romeo. What about you, Coach?
Oh, I'm in there like swimwear. I love this spot tonight. I think this is going to be a blowout city. I got it at 3.5. You got it at 4. Either way, we're going to cash. Give me the Dallas Mavs to win by 10-plus points tonight.
I got it at 3.5 too on PharrellOnTheBench.com on my site. I got it at 3.5. I got that price this morning. When I reached out to Foster's Lager, it was still at 4, and I didn't care. I wouldn't have cared at 6. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't have cared at 7. I'm not even kidding you. I think they're going to get it done. I want to remind people of a couple of things. Tomorrow, 1 to 3, we'll be on before the Knicks game. And I have to tell you, I said this on Coast to Coast yesterday. That NBA Network pregame show for 45 minutes, I've had more fun getting a root canal than watching a 45-minute pregame show for any sport. It's like the 6-hour Super Bowl pregame show. Now it's like 12 hours before the game starts. It's pathetic. I cannot watch a 45-minute pregame knobbing session of the networks before these games tip off. These games never tip off. It's ridiculous. Watch us from 1 to 3 get you ready for the Knicks and Pacers. There'll be no boring, pathetic, oh, look at me, I'm so pretty. Oh, look at my suit. Look how good looking I am. Oh, look, I could golf off of your forehead, you loser tool. Here's the deal. Can you show my player props for tonight? I got Shai Gilgeous over with points and assists. Abe Lincoln over 8.5 rips. He better rip. I got Luka trip dub. Kyrie over 5.5 dimes. Tim Hardaway Jr., there's your boy you made all that money on, over 5.5 points. He'll have that in the first half. And PJ over 22.5 points and rebounds. How do you like them apples, Coach? Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. I like all those plays. Here's my plays. I'm going to keep it simple. Giddy Kitty gets busy. Josh Giddey over 8.5 points plus assists. I know the playtime hasn't been there, but I think he gets there today. And also Kyrie. I've been talking about it. I've been hinting at it all show. This is the moment where Kyrie steps up. He's gone under this mark 4 straight games. Kyrie Irving over 20.5 points tonight.
All right, so 8 o'clock tonight, Dallas and OKC tip it off. And then good luck with that. That game won't start at 8 o'clock. They'll tip that thing off at midnight by the time they're done yapping their lips. Coming up next, unbelievable, the development. The mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri, along with the Bostonian, Matt Perrault, who is fresh off a trip to the Windy City with the consigliere, your boy Dave Sharapan. B versus B was in the Windy City, throwing down, partying, doing a live show at a bar, drinking, going to watch Paul Skeens pitch at Wrigley. The guy went 6 innings, no runs, no hits, 11 strikeouts and 1 walk. He is filthy Nolan Ryan stuff. Check out in-game live all access with the mayor and the Bostonian coming up next on the great SportsGrid. Also, we're on tomorrow. Like I said, 1 to 3. Coach and I will get you ready for the Pacers and Knicks. We'll be stressed out. Coach will be shoving food in his face as usual while I'm taking care of my pristine body with nothing but water and staying off of the junk food. Have another bite of fatness, Coach, and go shopping for some more clothes. Go buy a car. Keep spending money. I'm over here worried about basketball. You do your thing, Romeo.
Sushi. See you tomorrow.